Hello, hello. Welcome back to another One Piece manga chapter review. It seems there is one more chapter before the end of 2024. So here we have chapter 1135. We got our Shonen Jump cover, very nice cover. Luffy in the middle kind of looks like drawn in watercolor. It's very nice. Notes from Oda. Happy New Year! I've reached level 50. As a young spirit, I will continue striving each week to work hard and refine myself. So Oda's turning 50 on the 1st of January. Very nice for him. And we've got our cover page. Camaraderie Cups. So Camaraderie Cups, is that a reference to when the Straw Hat Grand Fleet was formed? And all the crews pledging their alliance to Luffy drank from the sake cups? That sounds like it's a reference to that. Harujin is one of the alliance, so perhaps that means he will feature heavily in this chapter. Okay, got our cover page. Onichia Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 21. I'm stronger than I was before. We've got Tama doing a flying kick right into Hold'em's face. So it looks like Tama's ninja training has been progressing fairly well. Seems she's strong enough to land the blow on Hold'em. Is this a knockout blow? It might be. Both Hold'em and the lion are bleeding out, so maybe. Okay, first page, we've got Chopper and Bonnie on top of one of the books, reading. On top of a giant book, reading. The letters are huge. It's hard to make it out. The Giant's Well of Wisdom. Lettering inside the book looks like the text, the glyphs on the poneglyphs. So is this one of the books from Ohara on the poneglyphs, or is this just a regular old book? Okay, so we've got Saul looking up at the owl. Bibelot is the library's mascot. Hoot! They say he's been here for hundreds of years. All we can say for sure about this owl is he gigantifies any book that enters his territory. Hoot! Bibelot, head librarian of the Owl Library. We got a shot of Bibelot. He's wearing glasses and a cape, or maybe his wings are shaped like a cape, but it looks like he's wearing a cape. They don't confirm a devil fruit, but he identifies any book that enters his territory. That sounds very much like an awakened devil fruit. So the question is, does this gigantification power apply only to books, or can Bibelot gigantify anything, and he's just choosing to gigantify books? This has to be an awakened devil fruit, or maybe just a devil fruit, but having environmental effects usually is a sign of an awakened devil fruit. News crews don't come to Elbaf since it's not part of the world government, but sometimes the fishermen bring some tiny papers back here so we can read them. He must have eaten the rear fruit and become a nurturing owl, says Lilith. So, of course it makes sense that Vegapunk would have knowledge on pretty much every single devil fruit. And so we have Vegapunk here confirming what devil fruit Bibelot has eaten. The rear fruit and become a nurturing owl. So rear suggests like rearing a child, caring for a child. So Bibelot as the librarian is caring for the books. And that's why they gigantify. Like raising a child, the child gets bigger. So caring for the books get bigger. Okay, Lilith continues. To think even inorganic things can grow with his power. That's a perfect ability for a kingdom of giants. Then Saul speaks to Robin. Feeling nostalgic? Yeah. And Chopper speaks to Robin. I hope they have medical books here. I know we had a few, but most of it was archaeological and historical works. We've got some medical books native to Elbaf too. Wow, I can't wait to read them. Though those books were always large, so they can't be shrunk down. What? Now we've got going back to Luffy playing with the giant kids, Luffy and Usopp. They're swinging on a giant swing. They're swinging really high into the air. Wah! Yahoo! Yeah! Push harder, harder! This giant swing is the best! Then we skip scenes to Usopp and Luffy sitting on the ground with knots on their head. So Nami took them off the swing and hit them. We're very sorry. Can't you see that you're scaring them? Hey, I wanted to stop too, said Usopp. Why, it was so scary, Miss Gerd. Now the giant kids are hugging Gerd. Aw, you poor thing. Hey, it's shameful for a warrior to cry, says Luffy. Then Sanji, back off, Luffy. These kids were raised with nothing but love and kindness. Come on, is this universal brat behavior now? We've got one of the giant kids doing the same thing Momonosuke did, smiling, smirking, and making Sanji mad. And Luffy says, this is a bit of a letdown, Usopp. Yeah, but it's not like a peaceful Elbaf is a bad thing. You there, are you Straw Hat? Yeah! And suddenly someone swings a giant sword at them, and they jump out of the way. So much for peaceful, says Luffy. You're wide open, it's Colin. He takes a swing, Luffy breaks the sword. What? Third gear. Gum Gum. Elephant gun. He launches the elephant gun at Colin. But Colin jumps out of the way, switches to the ground. Wah! Don't overdo it, you dummy, says Usopp. I didn't even hit him. That's not the point. Kya! You're gonna be in trouble. Shee. It's good to know that not everyone around here is spineless. That Luffy is a meanie. I hate violence. The other kids are screaming at Luffy. That was so cool. You're an emperor, alright? You're just as bad, Colin. Our resident delinquent is here. Why do you have to pull these stunts and ditch school? Shut up. I hate weaklings like you. Yeah, he's such a brute. Colin, don't cause a scene. Now Gerd is scolding Colin. But that was a solid first strike. Mom, Mata-san made all your favorites. What? You're a mom, Ripley-chan? At least you're teaching your son the old ways. Aren't you going to tell him to apologize for that sneak attack? Okay, so the bartender is not Colin's mother. Colin's mother is actually Ripley. Okay. But that makes sense. Because Ripley is one of the few giants that still knows about the old ways of Elbaf. So she's teaching her son about the old ways of Elbaf. He is kind of carrying on that tradition in his own way. Did you know my father's a human too? Wow, lingonberries, I'm so happy, says Ripley in the background. Huh? He used to be a pirate, and he didn't fear anyone, not even the warriors of Elbaf. Then Sanji replies, "Your dad's a human?" Now Ripley speaks, "My husband's much younger than me. Our marriage is more informal because of that age gap. He always said it'd be weird to make it official, since he'd be the only one to ever grow old. Is he for real?" Whoa, even the library is awesome here, says Luffy, seeing the library. These books are huge. Then Robin speaks, Luffy, I want to talk to Luffy, I want to talk to Luffy, I want to talk with Saul a little longer. I'll meet you at the feast later. There it is. Those guys parties for 3 days straight, so we'll have plenty of time. I'm staying too. Got it. So Chopper's staying behind. Don't worry about me either. I'm going to hang around and get my resident permit. Me too. So Robin, Chopper, Lilith, and Bonnie are staying behind at the library, it seems. Oh, I've also got some business around here. This entire kingdom is on an Adam tree. That's the kind of wood which the Sunny is made of. Treasure tree Adam. Yeah, there are a few Adam trees around the world, but the age of this one is off the charts. I want to learn more about the treasure tree while we're here. So Frankie wants to stay. So Frankie's staying too. No worries, we'll just go on ahead. Gotta eat before I starve. I'm at my limit, says Luffy. I've got something for you all. What is it, Gerd? Yo, this is excellent. I look more like a warrior now, don't I? Damn right, Brook. I'm feeling stronger already. Say, how come you've got clothes our size? I like making human clothes for fun, but that's all, I swear. Yeah, they're so cute. I'm glad you like them. So now everyone has Elbaf style warrior clothes. Brook, Frankie, Robin, and Jinbei. It's surprisingly comfortable. Alright, we'll meet you guys at the village. See you later. Quest Castle near the western village. Hey, what are you twerps doing here? We guards can't let you roam free, you know? Are you part of the Straw Hat crew? What business do you have in this country? We're looking for the one called Loki. So now we have the cloaked figures from the last chapter. And the other figure that doesn't look like Shanks is the one speaking right now. Says they're looking for Loki. Yeah. Loki? Why would you want to see that criminal? Our country suffered greatly because of him. He's the king-slaying fiend who killed our beloved King Harold. That's why this castle is so empty. Then you will tell me where he is? You can't do that. On the off chance he uses you to escape somehow. So you won't tell me. Sorry, this was a waste of time after all. And now it looks like the cloaked figure is launching some kind of attack. Huh? It hurts! Huh? What's wrong? One of the giant guards falls to his knees. Let's see. He doesn't appear to be bleeding anywhere, but he does seem to be hurt, in pain, because he's doubled over and he says it hurts. The other giant replies, huh? What's wrong? It hurts. Ah. Bogue? Bogue! This is what happens when you're too rude and prideful. I wasn't really asking before. Gah! This time I'm ordering you to tell me. What's going on? Western Village, Elbath. We've come a long way from the East Blue. Yeah, we finally made it. Hey, the Straw Hats are back. All of us would like to officially welcome you to Elbath. Whoa! You may be small, but aren't you may be small, but they aren't looking down on us. Sheesh. Here's to the great pirate Straw Hat Luffy, one of the 4 emperors. Rah! Wow! And to his crew that took down those monsters Kaido and Big Mom at Wano. You got Luffy and Usopp dancing. You've always dreamed of coming to the country of giants, the homeland of the world's greatest warriors. We've been expecting you after you, small folk, defended our pride. You freed us after we were fooled, and you saved me from being erased. So we've got Dorian Burgi. After you folks, small folk, defended our pride. We've got Oimo and Kashi. You freed us after we were fooled, and Harujin, and you saved me from being erased. Raise your comrade cups for the Straw Hat crew. Wow! Cheers! Okay, so it's more of a celebratory toast. It's not a direct reference to the sake cups that the Straw Hat Grand Fleet drank. It's more a kanpai, a celebration toast for all the Straw Hats have done for various giants from Elbath they've encountered along their journey. Oh, ja. They're really living it up. It seems the Straw Hats have returned. Huh? Aren't you the giant that was caught on Shabondi? That's right, call me Stanson. After Harujin told me we were gonna be under your umbrella, I knew it was fate that brought us back together again. And flashback, I'll definitely repay this debt one day, thank you. Okay, so Stanson is the giant that was at the auction house in Shabondi. The giant that was freed during the ruckus when Luffy hit a celestial dragon, and they all freed Cammy, so... Oh, that's an interesting comeback of the character. Because Stanson grew that massive beard and mustache, it's hard to recognize him, but he does still have the scar on the side of his face. Okay, so he was a giant from Elbath too. Which I suppose makes sense. Boy, ja. Oh my, it looks like we have some tiny guests. That giant's built like a mountain. Luffy and Usopp both reacting with shocked faces. Elder Jarl, you made it. Mountain Beard Jarl, hero of the giants, the oldest one in the world, 408 years old. A refresher on Stanson, a childhood friend of Harujin that was captured while napping and bought to be sold at the human auction house. Due to another incident the Straw Hat crew caused, commotion that allowed him to go free. And we've got a little drawing, Luffy punching the celestial dragon, and Stanson next to Rayleigh because he was in the cell next to Rayleigh, and he was the one that first noted that Rayleigh was using Haki when Rayleigh knocked out Disco using the Haki. Now Luffy's still eating. I see. I'm glad what we did helped you. Are you all having fun? Elder Jarl is here. Who's that? Hey, there's a sword in your head, Gramps. Oh, this little thing. I'm lucky my helmet saved me. But it's going right through. An overwhelming impact. Chapter 1135 end. So that's the end of the chapter. Again, no announcement of a break. Interesting. Are we really going with no break? Usually there's a break. But we've gone through Christmas and New Year without a break, it looks like. Which means the next chapter will be next week. If we really are going without a break, that means we'll get a break probably by mid-January. But that is interesting. I suppose we had kind of a series of breaks before getting into December. And I guess those are counting as the December break for this year. Well, okay. So a lot happened in this chapter. We get confirmation of the owl, Baby Lot, or Bible Lot. Bibelot. Baby Lot. Looks like Baby Lot. Maybe it's Bible Lot. But the owl has the rare fruit. And Lilith confirms that it can make things grow both organic and inorganic. So Baby Lot is choosing to use it to make the books in the library grow. The giants can read them. It can also make things shrink as well. Or maybe it can't make things shrink. Because the Elbaf books are already giant. Baby Lot can't shrink them down. So Baby Lot can only make things grow and make those things that have been grown by Baby Lot's power shrink back down to their original size. That makes sense. To get confirmation of Colin. Colin is a ruffian. He's seems to be the only young giant that's carrying on the warrior ways of Elbaf. His mother is Ripley. His father is a human pirate. A human pirate. So Colin is the son of not only a warrior of Elbaf, but a pirate. And does Colin want to be a pirate? Or does Colin want to be a warrior? Maybe both, a warrior pirate. He used to be a pirate, and he didn't fear anyone, not even the warriors of Elbaf. So a pirate strong enough not to be afraid of the warriors of Elbaf. That narrows things down quite a bit. The only pirate crews, if we go back to the previous generation, let's see. Trying to think here. Going back to the previous generation, of course, Roger's pirates and Roger's crew. So that makes people on Roger's crew candidates. Probably not Roger himself, and probably not Silvers Rayleigh. Yeah, probably not Silvers Rayleigh, because the fan theory about Silvers Rayleigh is probably that one of the queens of Amazon Lily fell in love with Rayleigh. So, not Rayleigh, not Roger. There's Scopper Gaban. He's the only other, big named member of the Roger crew. There's Crocus, but I don't think Crocus. But then, taking that element, yeah, and it has to be one of the older pirates from the previous generation because of the time differential between the way giants age and the way humans age. Because in the previous chapter, they said, how old were the kids in the previous chapter? They said, did they say something like 50 or 60? Or was it 80? I don't know. But they were definitely very old. Okay. But anyway, there's a pirate that's Quillen's father that might be a reveal in the future. We got the Straw Hats splitting up again. And again, this split up is along the lines of the Grand Line pirate crew, the Grand Line members, and the East Blue members. All the Grand Line members have stayed at the library, it seems. And then the East Blue members are going back. Let's go to this party. No, it's not all the East Blue members. Okay. So it was just the ones that openly declared they were staying behind. So it's just Robin, Chopper, Frankie. Robert, Chopper, and Frankie are staying behind at the library. Vegapunk and Bonnie are staying behind too. Brooke and Jinbei returned with Luffy, Usopp, and Sanji. So it's the East Blue Pirates, the East Blue half of the Straw Hats crew, plus Brooke and Jinbei that are at the celebration. Then we have this very quick scene continuing where the last chapter left off. Interestingly, they didn't show us the Shanks. They didn't show us Shanks / the guy that looks like Shanks. They showed the other hooded figure in action. And the other hooded figure displayed a power. It's hard to read exactly what this power is, but at first glance, it looks very similar to the power that Saturn was using. That sort of glare that immediately paralyzed and hurt people and could kill them. If that's the case, then this person has displayed now 2 of the powers that the Gorosei displayed. And we can assume those powers are granted by, transferred by Yin. But then the question is, who is this person? Now, a theory is emerging that this is the God Knights, two members of the God Knights. One of them being someone that resembles Shanks. And I guess it kind of makes sense. Also, it confirms that they are here for Loki. Why Loki? They want to free Loki. Loki is enemies with Shanks. But he was talking to someone through a transponder snail. And that person said that they sensed that there was good in Loki. The Gorosei know. Yeah, if you guys have been sent, the Gorosei know about Loki. They know that Loki killed the King of Elbaf, or that the King of Elbaf died, and that Loki has been framed with that murder. There's definitely some machinations here, but we know that they have a goal to free Loki. Luffy also made he didn't promise to free Loki, but he promised not to tell anyone that he spoke to Loki. Either way, Loki's going to be free. Definitely. Question is, what aim do these cloaked figures have? What goal are they fulfilling by freeing Loki? They're sowing chaos. Is that the goal mainly? To sow chaos to cover up some action, covert action they plan to take? Or is their goal to free Loki? If their goal is to free Loki, but it doesn't really line up because Loki seemed to be against open trade with the rest of the world and allying with the world government. The world government will want Loki to be a king that, like his father, Harold, would be pushing Elbaf towards entering the world government, because the world government wants access to giants and access to Elbaf. So if the world government was at play, they would want King Harold to remain the king, because King Harold was championing that goal. It's still very confusing exactly what world government's goals are here. And how freeing Loki connects to those goals. There's a lot to unpack from this small scene. And the Shanks figure is there, but just standing in the background. We don't even see half his face anymore. We just see the hooded figure standing in the background. All this other figures doing all this work. Maybe as Garling has become a Gorosei, as part of his becoming a Gorosei, Eam granted power to some of the God Knights that serve under Garling, or maybe all of them. So they would have access to at least some of the Gorosei powers. Maybe not the immortality part, but the Haki and teleportation based powers, maybe? Then that brings up the question, will they have Devil Fruit powers as well? There's a lot to learn here. But Luffy and Usopp are kind of disappointed with the way Elbaf has turned out, at least in terms of the younger generation. But most of their friends are from the older generation, so they still kind of get to experience some of the Elbaf warriors and their culture. But it's not exactly a kingdom of fierce warriors, the strongest warriors on the planet, like they were expecting. We've got Jarl Mountainbeard, the surviving elder. At this point, will we get some bit of explanation about Big Mom? A little bit more about Big Mom. Since Mountainbeard was there. Or will this be a chance to explain something else? Like, there's definitely a chance here for some explanation. We've got a 400-year-old character, 408-year-old character. So, not old enough to go all the way back to the Void Century, but old enough to go back 400 years. Y'all could bring some Legends of Nika, the Legends of Nika on Elbaf, perhaps. Mountain Beer could also explain some more of the Big Mom backstory. Devil fruits? Maybe. Devil fruits. Y'all could also explain something about what's been going on Elbaf. King Harold. Why King Harold wanted to engage in open trade with the world. Perhaps more about the princes. Why, what Loki was like before, and why they think Loki killed King Harold. Why they locked Loki up, how they locked Loki up, if Loki has powers, if there's devil fruit powers involved at all. So I feel like with Jarl Mountain Beard here, we'll have to get some exposition, a little bit about Albalath, and maybe a little bit more about the world at large. You might get some more action from these hooded figures, since they seem to be actively on the move while this feast is going on. They might free Loki in the background while the feast is going on. We've got Robin, the Slaw, at the library. It feels safe there. I don't think the Owl Library is at risk of being attacked or destroyed. Yeah, it doesn't seem highly likely, but it's not entirely impossible. But I think that's going to do it for this review. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I will catch you all in the next video, which should be in next year, 2025. So Happy New Year to you, and I'll see y'all later.